Hi, welcome to the Keller Farmhouse Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make my favorite from scratch carrot cake just in time for Easter. So I already have my ingredients measured out in different bowls. I love doing this while I'm, before I'm baking, just to make the process go a lot faster and you're not dealing with all the canisters and cans and boxes. So as I'm going along, I'm going to tell you how much I'm using. But the best way to get this recipe is to subscribe to my website, jennycookies.com. Head there now, scroll to the bottom of the page, and there's a box at the bottom that says stay in the know. Put your email in there, and I'm gonna email you out the recipe for my favorite from scratch carrot cake and the cream cheese icing that I'm gonna decorate the cake with. So let's get started with our dry ingredients. So we're gonna start with 2 cups of flour in a separate bowl, and then 2 cups of sugar and our baking powder, baking soda, salt that wanted to stick inside the bowl a little, and then cinnamon. So you're gonna mix these up and then we'll add in the wet ingredients. Now I made it a little bit easier with the carrots. When you get to that part, it asks for grated carrots. You can grate them if you want with a grater, or you could even put them in a food processor. I bought the little like chopped carrots that are already in little bags, and then I just put them in my food processor for like 5 seconds just to grate them a little bit more. But I'll show you what they look like in just a sec. Okay, so once your dry ingredients are mixed, you are going to put them in your mixer, and then we're gonna add our oil and the carrots. See how they're like really just grated up. And then we're gonna add our, let's see, I'll crack them into this bowl. Always crack your eggs into a separate bowl so that you don't get the shells in your cake. That would be really sad. And then we're gonna dump these in and let this mix for just a sec. And then I have a can of crushed pineapple. So let me move this out of the way so I can show you. I already put it in a colander and I have it over a bowl because you don't want the extra juice. So every so often I'm just kind of like pressing down to let that juice drip out and into this bottom bowl. And that is just a little, let's see, it's an 8 3/4 ounce can of the crushed pineapple. So once this gets mixed up really good, you're gonna add the pineapple, and then the chopped nuts, which I chose pecans. You could do almonds or whatever your favorite chopped nut is. And you can actually just stir this other part in. Okay, let's get it off. And then this, I've already done this like 3 times, pressed it down to get the juice out. So make sure yours is drip free, and then the nuts. And then you're just gonna stir this in, make sure everything is stirred really good. And then we're gonna put these in our oven in a minute, which is preheated to 350 degrees. Okay, so I have 3 8-inch cake pans. You can use the old-fashioned, butter and flour. I think I've told you guys this before. I love this Wilton Bake Easy spray. You just spray it in your pan. It's my favorite. I am gonna also email you out a list of some of these things I love to bake with so that you can have Bake Easy spray too. So this recipe is not huge. I mean, you literally have just enough for each pan. It almost seems like it's not enough, but it is. So let's kind of put them out. Looks kind of gross. but it tastes really good. So once you have these in here, we're gonna pop them in the oven for about, I'm gonna say 27 to 30 minutes. I know all ovens bake a little bit differently, so keep an eye on your cake. Maybe peek in 20 minutes in and just see how it's doing. Put a toothpick in. So let's put these in the oven and we'll be back to decorate the cake. All right, our cake has baked and I've already taken them out of the pans. I trimmed the tops off of each just with a serrated knife, or if you have a cake knife, and now I'm ready to ice it. I like to put my cakes on a cake board. You can pick these up at any craft store. That way you can move your cake around. So I'm going to decorate mine on a spinning turntable. You don't have to have this. I just have one, so I'm gonna use it. But if you don't have a cake board and you already know what you're gonna put your cake on, decorate it right on the cake stand or cake plate or whatever you have. So let's get started. I'm gonna take my cake and very gently put it on the board. And then you can put the icing on your cake with a cake knife. I find it a lot faster to just use a decorating bag to get it on. And then the icing I'm using is my favorite cream cheese icing, which I demonstrated how to make in my red velvet Valentine video. So you can refer back there if you want to see like the step-by-step of that. But if you subscribe to my site, I'm gonna send you out the recipe for this so you'll have it. So I'm gonna cut the tip a little bit more. And this is just a disposable pastry bag, which I'll also include in the email that I'm gonna send you with the things you might need. So you're just going to squeeze it onto your cake. And then cream cheese icing is a lot thicker than buttercream. And it does have to be refrigerated, but it's really, really good. And then, I hope I put enough in here. The way I'm gonna decorate this cake is like the naked trend style. This icing is so rich that you don't necessarily have to have it all over the outside too, but I do need my knife. Where is it at? Hold on. Okay, got it. So I have two. There's a really big, large size, there's a smaller size. I like the smaller size, but it's totally up to you. And this is where the turntable comes in handy. You're just gonna get a nice layer. It's pretty thick actually. And then we'll put the next cake on. Take this one, put it right on top. Just kind of push it down. With this naked cake, you're gonna kind of see it come out, but I think that's really pretty. And then again, yeah, you might want to just open another bag so you don't have to do this, but we can be resourceful. And fill our bag again. Now, I know not all of you have 3 8-inch cake pans. And if you don't want to run to the craft store to buy them, you can totally bake this cake with just like a 9x13 pan and just decorate the top of the cake. Or if you have 6-inch pans and you want to bake, you'll probably get 4 of them in there. Whatever you use, what you have, be resourceful. Okay, so we have the bag filled. We're gonna go around our second layer. And this cake is great for all occasions, not just Easter. Maybe you'll save this for Mother's Day or whatever your next occasion is. And you can make it into cupcakes. So now we're gonna get this next layer on. And you just want the icing to kind of go right to the edge, because once you put that top third of the cake on, it kind of smashes out a little. And like I said, if you want to go all the way around this cake with the icing, you totally can. It's just a really, really rich cake. And I love the natural look. So we've got our third layer. You want to make sure it's even, so pretty, very moist. And now the last layer. Our bag open again. So while I'm filling my bag, if you haven't subscribed to my website, make sure you go there so you're always in the know of the latest recipes, party ideas, holiday, whatever we're up to. JennyCookies.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel because you will get notified the next time we have a video out. Okay. Get this last layer on. Another pretty thing you can do, I'm not going to because I love how this looks, but you can always kind of dust this with powdered sugar, which looks really pretty. Okay. But I'm gonna put fresh flowers on mine, just to add a little spring touch. How's it looking from the front? Looks pretty. Now, if your cake doesn't bake level 2, you can always level it out with icing. Okay, looking good from the front. Now, let's cut some of these flowers and just kind of put them into, I'm just gonna take them out of the water so I know what I have. I love putting fresh flowers on the cake. It just gives it kind of a little natural look, and you don't have to be like, you know, a florist to put them in. Just lay them on there. And these are just like, I don't know, I think they're just grocery store flowers. My sister gave them to my daughter the other day, so I stole them from her room. I promised I'd get her some new ones, but just looks really pretty to have a little natural look over the top. So I'm actually doing a very different Easter table this year. I have a lot of gray in my table with purple. I have a newfound love for purple, and a lot of bright pink. So these were actually like the perfect flowers to go with my table. Okay, maybe a couple more white. Okay, how are we looking? Good? All right. Now this cake, like I said, there is the cream cheese icing on it, so you're going to want to keep this cake refrigerated and then just pull it out right before you're gonna serve it. Okay, and then I'm going to take my cake up, put it on the cake stand, and once you have it on the plate, you are going to keep it on. You can add a little bit more flowers underneath. So voila, best ever from scratch carrot cake recipe with my favorite cream cheese icing.